Hello, this is your friendly neighborhood Rothgar checking in to deliver 10 tips you might not have known in Final Fantasy XIV. Disclaimer, this video is heavily targeted towards new players because most of these are things that I figured out over time, either by somebody showing me when I didn't know, or I found these out through just looking them up on Google. Tip number 1. If you click on the log button and your challenge log is grayed out, there's actually a very easy way to get it. First, scoot your butt over to Limsa Lamentsa and head to this marker that I'm showing on screen. You're gonna run into this lovely lady, and she's generous enough to give you an easy quest to unlock the challenge log. And with the challenge log, you're gonna see several different challenges that provide gil, XP, and even MGP. They reset weekly, so you can never run out of free loot, and some of them are extremely easy to do as well, so they won't waste your time that much, and I think it's worth it. Tip number 2. If you made it to Idleshire, make sure you head to this marker and talk to this man right here. He is gonna give you a quest that unlocks Wondrous Tails, and these are big money makers, potentially. You'll eventually have to ask this NPC right here for a book, steal that shit from her, and open it up using the key items menu. The book has a list of challenges that you can choose from, and as you do them, it's gonna add a sticker off to the right on the menu. You're limited to how many you can do, and it kind of plays like tic-tac-toe in a way. The more lines of stickers you get in the end, including diagonal, the more rewards you get to choose from them. You can either get 0, 1, 2, or 3. If you see any easy-looking dungeons or trials on the list of things that you can do, then you can easily unrestrict your party to make yourself over-leveled and spam that dungeon over and over again while using points to reset it. But warning, that'll leave you with no points to reroll your sticker layout near the end, so you'll have to hope that you get really lucky. And also keep in mind, you can't reroll your sticker layout at the very end. You have to do it when you have like 7 of them or something like that, so keep that in mind. And something else to keep in mind, it's almost impossible to get the 3-line reward. You need to get absolutely perfect luck, so don't get bummed out if you never end up getting it. Tip number 3. This one might sound simple, but the amount of people who miss this is just too much in my opinion. If you're ever going into a dungeon or a trial with a character that is not max level, make sure that you eat food. You'll get 3% bonus XP for 30 minutes, which may not seem like much, but it adds up over time. Trust me. So stock up on some cheap food if you don't care about the other stat buffs, but they all give that 3% XP bonus, which is what you want out of them. Tip number 4 is you should scroll down and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Okay, but tip number 4 is to change your HUD. Customize it. I see many people playing on the default HUD layout, and I wish that more people would take the time to change things up. Move certain things out of the way, make things that don't need to be that big smaller. Just give yourself more room to see the game itself, and in some cases, if you want to, you can even customize your hotbars to make certain abilities in a better spot that's more convenient for you to see it or for you to click it or whatever you want to do. So just press pause and go to HUD layout, and it might look a little cuckoo crazy at first, but trust me, it's pretty simple. Everything there has its own box that's labeled. You can move it around, and when you select something, you can even click the little gear to change other things like its size and transparency. Trust me, taking the time to do this is actually really important. It may take a lot of brain power at first, but you'll enjoy the rest of the game a lot more once you have a much cleaner looking screen. Tip number 5 is to set keybinds. Keybinds are going to help you a ton, and if you aren't a huge keybind gamer, then at least consider setting keybinds for abilities that are really important to you. You can do this by pausing and then clicking on keybind, and there's a ton of different sections for you to look to, but the most important one is going to be hotbar. I would suggest setting keybinds for hotbars 1, 2, and even maybe 3. One thing that I found out is the Q and E keys, the ones that like let you strafe, are actually useless because you can do the same movement by just pressing W and a direction. So I personally use Q and E for keybinds, but do whatever you want. I just want to let people know that setting keybinds will make things a lot easier in the long run. Tip number 6. Did you know that you can get an extra inventory for free? Actually, everybody has it, but some people don't know about this. Once you get your first chocobo, then click the character menu and look for Chocobo Saddlebag. This is literally an extra storage, and I've been using it to store dyes or foods or other items that might have sentimental value to me, like this chicken egg. I'm not sure how many people don't know about this, but I just wanted to remind everyone, and if you didn't know about this, then leave a comment because I hope I helped at least one person with this one. Tip number 7 is to join an FC, even if you're not that much of an FC gamer. This one might sound really self-explanatory, but there are players out there who haven't been doing this at all because maybe they're too afraid to, or they just don't want to, whatever it is. But there are FCs out there that don't really care what the players do, and they just let you join for the buffs and the chocobo stable. Other FCs are obviously like way more serious, or they want you to be active or whatever, but you're bound to eventually find somebody in the chat or find it on the community finder where there's an FC that's like, all right, you can join, you get the buffs, and that's all you gotta do. You don't have to do really anything besides exist. Tip number 8 is visit the Gold Saucer. This is a place where you can gamble with no risks, and here you can earn a new currency called MGP. There's a ton of different events that you can do or attend to earn MGP, and you can use the MGP to buy glamours, pets, mounts, music, emotes, and a lot more. I'd recommend going around picking up the blue quests around here, which you should do everywhere else in the map as well, but here specifically because doing the blue quests here are gonna unlock new things that you can do or play to earn more MGP. To get here, first go to Ul'dah on this marker, talk to this loser right here, and he'll give you a quest that brings you straight to the Gold Saucer. First, you can head here in the entrance plaza and talk to this dude to do some quick gambling. This resets daily, and I think it's really fun. Next, I'd highly recommend you head here after unlocking the fashion report quest, because this is where you get big boy money. Talk to one of these losers, and they'll eventually ask you to present yourself for judging, and if you have the right outfit and dyes for the theme, then you can get upward of like 60,000 MGP, or maybe more. To figure out what you actually need to wear, just Google Final Fantasy XIV fashion report and find the latest tweet about the perfect things to wear. Wear what it says in the easy 80-point section and you're home free. Don't forget to use dyes too. Also, don't forget that this resets weekly, and it's only available for a few days at a time, and every single week the theme changes, so you can't do the same thing over and over again. Tip number 9 is the hunting log. This one should be available to you right away, and if you want bonus XP for any class, I'd recommend doing this as one of the first things you do, especially if you are kind of struggling to find out like, what do I do for XP? Well, you can do this. It's basically a list of enemies that you're supposed to kill around the map, and if you hover your cursor over them, then it lets you know where they are on the map. If it says something like Western Thanalan Horizon's Edge, then you open your map to that location and look for the text on the map that says Horizon Edge or whatever the special text is, and it should be in that general area. If you can't find what you're looking for after looking around that area, then just Google the name of the mob and the wiki should help you. Tip number 10. Do not forget level roulette and all of the other roulettes. This is something that resets daily, and it is the best way to get XP. I'm sure there aren't many people who don't know what this is, but in case you don't, maybe you're newer and you're just now finding out about this, then this is like the best way to get XP. Eventually, you're gonna unlock stuff like 50+ dungeons, trials, normal raids, and even frontlines, and a couple other really good ways to get XP. All of these reset daily, and they all have XP bonuses, which is great. Some of them do take a really long time to finish, and I personally don't do a couple of them, but if you want to maximize your XP gain, then do as many of these as you can every day, and you can only do them once per day, but they're definitely worth it. Anyways, that was 10 tips for newer Final Fantasy players. If you aren't newer, but one of these actually ended up helping you, then that's awesome. If you guys have any extra tips that you want to leave in the comment section that maybe I could put into a part 2, then let me know. Maybe I could do like an advanced section where I give tips of like late game stuff that people might not know. But yeah, if you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, do all that cool YouTube stuff, and join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.